You are now joining Paranormal Sarah into the unknown. Still the remnants of a swallowing of a fly. I was outside. Where was I? I was outside, swallowed a fly by accident and started gagging and then had like one of those moments. Um, So yeah, Jackie, welcome. Hi, Serial Dog. Welcome from Wichita. All of you guys, thank you so much, whether it's from YouTube or Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or wherever you are. Ruth, welcome. The idea is that we are just going to have a moment of coffee. It's not so much a no man's land, and that I'm not going to put too much politics in there. I'll try not to anyway. But today, most importantly, I wanted to check in because today is a new moon. Today, for all the witches, pagans, Wiccans, naturalists, farmers, all of us really, whether you're conscious to it, aware of it, using it in the present moment or not, you're going to feel it. You're going to see it. Mary, you're going to see and feel the shift. You're going to be influenced by it. So ideally, we want to be aware of it. I know earlier on my social media, I shared this, right? Ugh! Ugh! I so was excited whenever I finally graduated statistics. It took me 2 tries, but I did it. It's the only reason I didn't have a 4.0 in my college studies is because statistics. For real. Statistics was one of those I was damn near bending my ethics to consider paying people to do my math homework because I just don't love it. You can't bullshit math. But now, as a grown woman doing occult, doing non-denominational science, skepticism, and spiritual work, math is a universal language. I was hoping it was going to be ASL, but it wasn't. Instead, right? Please. No way. It's math. It's 1, 2, 3, and second to music, I would say, which is there too. The Fibonacci, sacred geometry, it is everywhere. And whether it's YouTube or wherever, the information, right? It's going to come to you. You're going to deal with it. You're going to have to know how to ride that wave. Astrology, cool. Alchemy, awesome. Divination, helpful. Religion, that too. All of it can be useful tools. So without further ado, God, I still taste that fly. Don't do it, Sarah. So gross. Oof. I was staring at a butterfly. There was a butterfly outside. That's what happened. And then I was like, what is that? And then and then it was a moment. Anyway, astrology. So a lot of things, if you had joined the astrology and alchemy last Tuesday with Matthew and I, and you can join again tomorrow, where it's Tuesday again. It's Tuesday every week, 9 p.m. If you weren't there, where were you? If you weren't there, that's okay. We're going to go over it right now. And if you're not in the Gypsy tribe, where I post it every day on Facebook, where I post it on my Patreon, for people to be able to use these movements, the new moon in Virgo. Virgo is all about process. Virgo, it's an earth sign. Location, timing, earth. All of the alchemy elements of earth magic, working new projects, intentions, seeds, opportunities, thinking, silence, Archangel Uriel. What can I be patient, quiet, learn, and know about? In my daily life, in everything, routines, to-do lists, Virgos. And it's the mutable one, right? So it's dancing with, fire and water. Ooh, the shadow work in that is to start those plans already. What the hell are you waiting for? What are you waiting for it to happen to you? No. The way of the world right now, Labor Day today, the way of the alchemy, this right here. What does this tell you? Look at it. What do you see? This tells me that there's a whole lot of earth, a whole lot of thinking, not a lot of water, not a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of satire. There's going to be a lot of sarcasm, if anything. It's a sandstorm out there. It's a literal sandstorm. It's a physical, metaphorical, emotional sandstorm. So when you think about that, it's dry, it's hot, it is a struggle. And a lot of people saying things that maybe they don't mean because they're saying things because they've overthought it and because there isn't a lot of water involved. So keep this in mind in all areas of life. And we're going to keep moving with it because there's many other things happening in astrology and like how to use that. We're going to talk a little bit about it actually with math. But you also have Mars in Virgo, right? You have the moon in Virgo. You have the sun in Virgo. A lot of energy that is thinking, a lot of really strong, focused foundation, feeling stronger than usual. But also, we do not care. I know I had shared last week about using the royal we to actually strengthen the inner narrative. The ritual suggestion, of course, for this is scrying. Sitting, cleaning your altar space, sitting in it, looking, getting new perspectives, scrying with water, scrying with mirrors, scrying with, like the great oracle. Pluto in Capricorn is happening a lot, which means Elderberry, Pepper, Jackie, Mary, which means all of you joining us, time travelers from the future, which means that Pluto it's a big life thing. It's reminding us of 2003, 2009, 2012, 2018, 2020. There's these kind of glitches in the Pluto and Capricorn moment that are making us think about decisions unmade, choices unmade, vision board of different dimensions in that time and space where I coulda, shoulda, woulda. Overthinking, right? But as Chris Stapleton and Justin Timberlake tell us, sometimes some choices and some things unsaid are best, unmade, and unspoken. Where are the gaps? Use that Mr. Rogers silence. Mars and Virgo. Mars, it's that masculine, fiery planet of do, action. Go, go, go. It's in Virgo too, which means it's overthinking. It's kind of feeling, it's kind of squirmy and like a frog. It's like a frog. It's feeling froggy. You know what that means, guys? That's a tornado. That's like, it's air. Know what you know. Venus in Libra, Jupiter in Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus. All of these different things astrologically saying. There's going to be a lot of ripples in our feelings, but not a lot of anything we can do about it. What is the antithesis? What is your fear? A lot of messages of going through the portal, taking the step, doing the thing, making the choice, doing the firework, doing the scrying, doing the shadow work. What do you see? What do you not see? Why is it? Because it just maybe there's no light right now. A new moon, like think about in nature, a new moon. It's quiet. Shh. If you haven't felt anxiety in the last few days, it might be because you're too dissociated and closed off and numb to the fucking world, which that's okay too. But if you're empathetic like me, you've been maybe feeling a closeness to want to put on some extra makeup, do the extra mask, buy some extra clothes, gift yourself the Virgo things, think about things, make big life choices. Maybe I should reevaluate that. Maybe I should redo that. Maybe I should feng shui that. Maybe I should reshuffle that. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I don't know. I don't want to ask anybody because it doesn't really make me feel any better. Of course it won't. The water is in kind of an eccentric space and it's rare and there's a lot of thinking, overthinking. So that's anxiety. That's anxiety. That's anxiety. That's anxiety. Don't. You don't have to feel about something to think about it. And what do you see when you close your eyes? You don't need the light of the sun and all the reflecting and refracting and blah, blah to mess the vision up. You can do it in your mind. There were, along with the 9/11 things, much redaction, of course, but patents on telepathy, amazing, cool MK Ultra stuff that we know, of course, to be true. But validation that the power of the mind is real. So let's take this to the next step. Let's go a little deeper, right? A little bit of that hypnosis. Let's go a little deeper. Let's see what you see and know what you know. When we talk about something and go the way of neurolinguistic programming, the way that I work If you're in the Gypsy tribe, you know this. If you're one of my clients, you know this. Neurolinguistic programming is very, very, very important. It is the way that our mind processes the small things that we say and don't say. What are you hearing in the quiet space? What are you buying for yourself? A new camera? A new laptop? Mary says, my grandson just did this for his baby monitor to death. My grandson just did his baby monitor to death. Sigh. What does that mean, Mary? I ordered a cat organizer today. Talk about overusing Virgo energy, says Jackie. And I grabbed a new computer chair. My Virgo gift, says Anthony. And Anthony, this totally is, for those of you complimenting my scarf, by the way, the Sinti gypsies, nomadic tribes, a lot of them you'll notice in their dancing and in their flair and in their garb, there is usually a scarf. It's symbolism, like much 818 gangster pride, that you might be showing your colors, right? And this is a certain dark green and dark red. They're kind of dark Christmassy colors. It's the lower Southern French Leon Sinti. That's my people, man. Some of my people. A small part of my family tree. Anyway, I like to keep those scarves on hand when I find them at the thrift store or the dollar store. If I ever see a red and dark green scarf, something with kind of these kind of cool colors, I keep it. And then the other day I burned my forehead with curling iron. And so, yeah, that's what this looks like. That's what this looks like. Anyway, so, Jabarni pride, maybe a little too much. Anyway, here we go. So my piratey space. Let's go deep with me here, right? Let's go into some neurolinguistic programming. Let's go into some language and use this. So in the energy, in the way of the world right now, you're going to have a lot of the people, the they, the royal we, the people on the internet. I'm talking about who is God? Who is I am? What am I? What is my purpose? What am I doing? What am I doing here? A lot of like existential, empiricism, like philosophical, deep discussions, people wanting to go on tour, people finishing their tour forever, you know, people doing this or not doing, like making really big Pluto life decisions, feeling these really heavy decisions that need to be said or expressed. Don't repress things, right? Feeling this fire kind of needing to be stoked in certain spaces. And remember, God or deities or direction, it's responsibility ultimately. So like if we change our inner narrative to we, like, come on, Anthony, we got this. We got this. Come on, Dee. Come on, Jackie. Come on, guys. Like every time you're down on yourself, if you use the royal we, like a very religious person might, with the inclusion of God always with them over their shoulder, or very spiritual people with their gods and deities behind them, their spirit guides, their group, their home team, or people that speak on behalf of like their family. They don't segregate or dissociate themselves from their village. Narcissism, the I, me, selfish, right? That your inner narrative isn't I, that it would be the royal we, that you would start working on that. With the royal we, depending on who that is, how that is, the pep talking goes in your brain. People, young people, witch talk people, people in their awakening, their wokeness, trying to find out who are my spirit guides, who are my angel guides, where am I going? What is my purpose? Tell me, tell me, tell me. As if I tell you it will be. But then again, if I tell you you have cancer or you just won $1 million, it indeed can change your life. Even if it's not true. It'll change how you react. It'll change how you act. Change how you behave. So keep that in mind. Information and knowing that it needs to be true, because that's what air is about. The tornado, the finger of God, air, it's double checking. Oh yeah, you don't control me. In Luke, the Bible, how is it that man can look to the east and know, look to the west, know what has been, but can't look to the present time and understand it? That speaks to me on a very deep level, because it's why Christian scriptures kind of deter people from divination. If you're so busy and focused on the future, man, you're not in the now. You're not in the very moment. You're time traveling. You're not focused. But you have to be able to manifest, but not let it screw over your time. You have to be able to moderate the past, the present, and the future. Learn and apply and be. It's kind of hard, right? Indeed, it is. So there's a process. Cognitively speaking, we all have it. There is a process. Some people, it starts with, what is my purpose and what is my purpose? Well, let me tell you right now, it's just to survive the day and preferably not harm yourself or others. You can do that at the end of the night. God be with you. God is you. You are God, and welcome and amen. The great I am. Who are you? Who are you? We don't care. Earth energy. If you're not sure about yourself or the fight, you'll retreat. Someone's reacting, they're spitting fire at you like an airbender, they're spitting fire at you, and you just maneuver it. Earth recycles like a compost bin. You take that, you say, so what I'm hearing is this. What I got from that was that. Is that what I'm hearing you say? You allow that person to hear it the second time and go, no, you're right. I didn't mean that. No, you're right. Calm down. Okay. State your intention. Let's get through this. We can do this. We can do this together. Unite yourself. And lo and behold, you can completely recycle the energy when communicating with a person. It is perfect. It works. You don't have to do much of anything. Just be aware. Just thinking about it, just talking about it right now. You are serving your purpose. But religious people, they might know that, right? Maybe you're not religious. I find a lot of people find me because they're spiritual or they have an aversion to religion. They know they're different, but they also want the kind of rules, the guidance to know how you're doing something, to know if it's right or wrong. But unfortunately, energy isn't right or wrong. It's yin or yang, and it's knowing what works best for you. So, hi, Rebecca. Hi, Dee. So, I'm going to bring you, did you see it? A religious word, a neurolinguistic programming word. And I want you to hear it and I want you to think about it. And this is absolutely something to be giving to yourself right now in the alchemy space that is otherwise a tornado or dust storm or sandstorm. And that is, of course, deliverance. So I want you to think of that word religiously. It, of course, has a very specific connotation, picture, and image. Let's just respect that. But what do you think the Webster's Dictionary, what do you think the neurolinguistic programming, what do you think in your brain is there for deliverance? And what is that? How do you use that? And why the heck or hell does it matter now? Well, deliverance is a noun. Earth. It's a thing. It's a material thing. Maybe pentacles, diamonds, earth magic. It's an intention, like a seed. An action of being rescued. Wait a minute, that's the verb, but it's a noun. Being set free, the action of being rescued. Like a liberation, a release, a freeing, a rescuing, a delivery, a ransom. A ransom. A ransom. That's an interesting word. But let's not get too crazy. Let's not go down that wormhole, because that's one. But to liberate, to be released, liberal, freeing, rescue, the action of being rescued. Indeed, deliverance. But the second definition is the formal, authoritative utterance. A formal, authoritative utterance. That's very important. For any witches out there, Wiccans, pagans, any Christians out there, devout Catholics, anyone who understands scripture or words or alchemy or air, psychology, a formal, authoritative utterance, air. A statement, a declaration, an announcement. Hear ye, hear ye. Paul Revere. The British are coming. The Mexican-Spanish War is here. It's to deliver a speech, delivery of a rescue. It's a moment of opportunity that is going to come in the air. And if not heard, not taken, not heeded, why would that be a warning? Well, it's slightly different than a deliverance. How? That's a good thing to sit in front of the mirror and meditate on. If you are a monk on a hill needing something to motivate you today on your walk to think about deliverance, what delivers you? Who is delivering you? How does being released from? Who are you being released from? Now, this is absolutely a no man's land or Paranormal Sarah moment, because this is your morals, this is your values, this is your authority, this is your, who are you answering to? And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's you. And whoever's in the we. Your family, your loved ones, your partners, those people that your influence extends to and ripples and influences, that you know you are directly connected to and a part of. Hi, David. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Dee. And feel free to chime in on this. Those Freemasons in the group and you wise witches I see joining me in the chat room from all over the world too, which is very cool. So you know that deliverance already, an authority already, we're talking government, we're talking God. Who's your government? Who's your daddy? Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy? Right? Who is responsible for your structure, your foundation? And by the way, notice the patriarchy and the liberal aversion to, me, they, I am, she, he, all of that. It's relevant right now. It's relevant right fucking now. Yes, it is relevant. It's air magic. Woo! Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who are you answering to? Who cares? Who cares? Who's showing up? Who are you doing it for? Who are you putting your makeup on for? Interesting. It's very, very important self-reflective moment. It's a very important moment. Why are you getting upset? Why is it conflicting with you? Why are we arguing? God's structure, foundation. Last week we talked about doors and permission, because that's consent. Excuse me, pardon me, everybody, I'd like your attention. Fuck you, John, no one likes you. Okay. You have to give consent. You have to allow it. Right? As Jason says, big dick energy. Or, yeah. What was it? Big dick energy, was it le grand pine spire? I play Tech 9. Me. Yeah, F everybody but me. And it's very ego, but not narcissism, right? Because it's not the selfish I, it's the royal we. It's the elevation of the I am. And if you are walking with God and you are in that faith, or you do know your intentions, you've thought about it, you know what you know. You can take it. Archangel Uriel's got your back. And when you walk in and Archangel Raphael says, whoa, hold up, wait a minute, what's there? Don't go with it. What you got? What you bringing? That you say, check the list. I'm on the list. I'm on the list, your list. I'm on your list. Move out the way. I'm on the list. And then it doesn't matter what's happening in air. You have a strong structure. You're a group of sticks. You're not a single jaywalking person. You're not the wheat and the tars. You're not just something singular. Where does this tie in with the new moon? Well, that's a very good question because Virgo is all about analyzing. It's all about understanding what you know, how you know what you know. And that right now, if we know that Mars and we know that Mercury is in Libra, if we know all of this airspace and we know how it ties in, it tells us exactly what's going on with our loved ones. And it goes into who it is that we are becoming, the choices that we're making, who it is that we know that we need to be rescued from, and ultimately, fear. The only thing to fear is fear itself. I, the great I am, you have no power over me. That the new moon is scrying. It's the understanding that all of the birds and creatures of the earth in the northern hemisphere going through this new moon with us under this constellation of Virgo, the maiden, the mother, the maiden, the crone. It's the now. It's delivery. It's the anticipation of what you're going to become and the knowledge of it. It's that the tornado can strike right next door, so you have to be aware. It's people on TikTok utilizing the old face mask at the perfect timing, and I just grin to myself because it's being humble in the moment. It's knowing what's happening right now. It's knowing that, you know, there's not light out there to be able to guide the way. So if you're an advanced predator, you close your eyes, mirror scrying, you can stare and see things move, Gestalt psychology. You know how your brain is going to organize it? Yep, I see shit moving. But what does that mean? Psychoanalysis, and that you're not afraid to go into those dark shadows because Virgo might be an anxiety attack, but don't. Be present with it. Close your eyes and don't be afraid. I think about how in air, I worry about, I'll give you a specific example. I just renewed my lease. Don't have a lot of money. Don't have a lot of craziness. The pandemic, Delta, who knows what's going on. But you know what? I have just enough to invest in myself. I have a photo studio up here in the small community. I've been really excited about it. The last year has been really hard. Business people say, hey, don't expect even an income at all in the first 5 years. Yeah, but I'm a Virgo. I expected a little bit more. I think I'm awesome. I wanted something great. I expected to at least be making significant money, and I wasn't. Then I went on vacation to think about it. I came back and 2 photo studios opened right next door to me, literally right next door to me. I had just applied for a grant because I was the only studio in like 50-mile radius. So that gave me this grant opportunity. And so blow that out the window. And I thought, well, what the hell am I doing? What am I even doing? Right? And you start questioning your life. You start questioning your path. You start questioning what it is that you're doing. And I think, you know, photography has always been a side hobby for me. I've always really enjoyed storytelling and my podcast. I need to have a space for that. I need to not be at home or my kids are running around. And if I talk about something explicit for work, that they're not hearing me and that I can do my research and my public speaking in a studio, but also use that platform for other people. And it might be controversial. And I live in a small town and I don't want to hurt people's feelings. But you know what? So be it. That's who I am. And I know who I am. So what am I afraid of? Well, I'm afraid that I would invest in it and fail. I'm afraid that people would be like, yeah, well, but you know what? Nobody else really fucking matters. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching me like that, judging me, really. It's me. It's nobody out there but me. No one's going to show up for me but me. And so you can't just keep dancing around vaccines or COVID or this or that or the circumstances. You just can't. You've got to do what you've got to do. You've got to do what you've got to do that's good for you and yours. And what is you and yours? That can feel in a very Virgo new moon space quite lonely. You're looking around going, is it safe out there, guys? Oh, yeah, fuck, I don't. Yeah. Whereas if you go, is it safe out there, guys? And somebody's going, no, I don't think so. Wait a minute, I hear something. Because you don't have the best ears, but you're in a little comrade group of people that have your best intentions, really your best intentions, because life and death out there, maybe. And that they go, yeah, no, I think it's safe. Risk. There's going to be risk. There's going to be risk when you go out on a new moon. There's not a lot of light. You got to be able to trust your ears. What was that? Does it have teeth? Am I its food? What was that? Huh? 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 For all those people right now that might be really struggling with purpose and standard, addicts, might really be needing to not take criticism from the air that's really heavy out there because it's an alchemy tornado. Whoa. And the rules are changing. So the guides and the foundations, if you don't have it from the inside, man, you're not going to have it from the outside. Not right now. Be careful. This is a really interesting space. Specifically, it tells me, what is my soundtrack? What am I listening to? And ultimately, when I'm scrying, to not forget to close my eyes. Don't be afraid of the struggle. The struggle is going to temper you. Don't be afraid of the fear. That tells you that you're invested. Be thankful. If ever you're wondering, well, how, fire, how, to push it into earth, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Hail Mary. Hail, the maiden of now. Learn the lesson of the past and apply it to the future. I so appreciate religion. I so appreciate how if I go into the Bible and I look for deliverance, it's going to tell me a very cryptic story. If you ask your Mason, your local witch, your tribe shaman about deliverance, they will give you possible assignments to take a journey, a self journey, and ask you, how do you know what you know? As air magic does, Raphael. And deliverance is the reminder that the act of being rescued or set free is a formal, authoritative utterance and an announcement. And you can do that at any time. And what people say, shh, shh, shh. Permission, consent. It allows you to be anchored or tied down or just, right now there isn't any water. Not really. The only water is Neptune and Pisces, which is delusion. It means that in your thinking space, you're going, God, is this right? Am I sure? Me. The skepticism is an intuitive. It doesn't quite feel right, and that's Neptune and Pisces. Don't let that fuck your shit up. Neptune and Pisces will. It's dreams. It's crazy dreams. It's X's coming out of the waterworks. It's crazy dreams making you wonder and ponder what's haunting you. It's a haunt. You don't need that. Use it. What information is it giving you? Don't let it question who you are. Know your structure, know your foundation. Use the fear. Use the fear. How and why. Move it right into earth. If you're in a tornado, go to the basement. Find something solid. If you're going to retreat, do it in something that is firm. If you're going to go out in it, take me, baby. I ain't scared. I've been here, I've been there. I know that shit. And I'm eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. It's protections. It's sigils. It's finding a song. I was also hearing the let's start a riot. Start a riot. Don't start a riot. It's jumping right to fire, right? Alchemy. Take that information and apply it. Or go back to earth and think again. But don't come out here and play. Don't think that feelings are going to get hurt on because people care about you right now. No one's thinking about you. They're thinking about them. They're thinking about the royal we. And in case you really do care about politics like I do, Australia just passed some laws that, guys, Australia used to be an island for prisoners. Scratch that, reverse it. Australia is now an island for prisoners. What do I mean? They just passed a new Data Information Act as Hurricane Irma or Ida, I forget already because that's horrific of me, and I already know that it's in a concurrent deja vu of Katrina and all these other hurricanes, and that yet India is using HARP openly, and we just are pretending like we're not. And meanwhile, Australia wants to move across the EU the Data Act that allows them to access without a warrant or due process and give you up to 10 years in jail if you do not comply all of your data and related to maybe coulda, shoulda, might be related data on your phone or any electronic device you've ever owned, touched, or might own, and that they can edit it and delete it at will. Now, I want you to just think about that for 1 second. What? That passed just a few suns ago. What? Yes. And Joe Rogan got COVID despite his rich money vitamin D bullshit, and then treated himself with ivermectin, and then everybody in Big Pharma took that shit off the market. Like as quick as Amazon raked up the Planned Parenthood B that you can get online for girls in Texas that need to know, and then just have it shipped to your house. Monopolized. That just happened. What? Yeah. And all the unmasked schools that are celebrating and really excited about it are requiring any visitor, if you're a parent, by the way, ask if your child's school, if they're under the age of 15, has this, that if you now want to take your child in or out of school in any way, shape, or form, maybe they have a fever and are coming home from the nurse's office, or maybe they have a bloody nose or chapped lips like Napoleon Dynamite and want to be brought home because they're having a bad day and you want to take them in and out of school at will or volunteer on the premises, then you have to download Raptor. It's a third-party application on your device that allows the school to track you on and off school times and allows them to send authorities to you and all of your contact information and put your safety, private information of health on a third-party application. And you have to have it. And that's a real thing. What? In Australia? No, that's in America. That's here. So if you work for the Department of Corrections and cannot and are not allowed to download third-party apps on your phone because you use it for work, because you use it for a 24-hour online crisis for veterans, you can't take your kids out of school. Watch me. Anyway, that's a whole lot of tea. But that's air. That's an authority. That's an utterance. That's a declaration that is setting you free, ransom, delivering release. That's holding the gate. Oh, yeah, that you're not a part of the royal we. We must remember we the people, for the people, by the people. If you're feeling separate from that, if you're afraid, readjust. We as in me. We as in, I say, my will, our will, me and my people. We're not afraid. I'm not afraid. No. Nope. So it's a new moon moment. Don't be afraid. Take the risk. Know what it is you're saying when you say it. Know your intentions. Know them well. Most importantly, who's your daddy? Know who your daddy is. It's important. Is it some man behind a podium that like carousels out every 4 years? Is it really? No, not for me. That's not me. But it's important to know who it is. So check in with yourself before you wreck yourself. New moon in Virgo says, think, but don't overthink. Let that anxiety remind you to be present. If you feel it, go through it. If you're in hell, keep going. Right? And don't forget to check out paranormalsarah.com for all the updates. I'm going to be putting all of my weekly radio shows. I'm also going to be putting up a few links if you guys want to help support No Man's Land as I build my studio. If you're up in the northern Minnesota area and you have a truck and you want to come help me move furniture, I'm redoing my studio all through September, and I'm running specials on back to school readings, divination specials, and some really, really, really cool things on some adult Halloween costumes. When I say adult, I don't mean like G-strings. I mean like really cool, 100,000 sequins hand sewed into a shawl that is a moth, and it's just really beautiful. It goes over a black cocktail dress, and then you've got like these beautiful little antlers that look and are made of feathers, handmade with gems, and you can be a moth. And so they're all one of a kind. Jackie says, where did I get this tapestry behind me? This would be a wish.com moment. This would be a wish.com sent me by accident. I'll have you know. I bought something for the studio and this came with it. And then some neighbor kids came over with their purple slime and left their slime ball on it. And so now it has purple slime encrusted in it, but you can't really tell. It's right there. You can't tell, can you? Nah, you never even noticed. But yeah. And Mary says, I don't have a truck, but I could come paint and clean. I'm wanting it to be very minimal. I want a huge rug, which I'm picking up today. I found on Marketplace. And then I want like a black futon and 2 chairs, like old school chairs. I found one at the Goodwill. It's probably already gone because it was there Friday. It's not there now. Probably it was $11. Good God, I need to go buy it. It was great. It had like bolts in it. I loved it. But then I just need some shelves. If anybody has shelving, you want to send me like any free shelving or IKEA shelving or shelving you don't need, I'll absolutely take it. I'll even send you a receipt with my tax ID on it and say thank you. You can write it off on your taxes. But yeah, so I'm going to have one white wall, one black wall, kind of an apothecary space. And then I'm going to have my studio right there in Pequot for people to come and be interviewed, be narrated, give their story, and utilize some product photography and portrait photography space. And hopefully be the home of a really cool, like Northern Minnesota podcast. And if people want to come and visit and vacation and hang out, we have the opportunity to work you in that space too, or you can just stay and work yourself for a full spiritual retreat. And some little metaphysical stuff on the wall for me to use the space for readings too if I want, because I have a lot of people request readings, of course. So anyway, the new moon Virgo in me has got a lot to do. It's also the back to school time. It's perfect for that. But there is just a lot of movement today, guys. So I want you to remember, if you're feeling that, it is the collective anxiety. It is the new moon and unsureness of being able to go out in the dark, trusting what you know, knowing your source. Very, very, very important. So it's very cool. Jackie, how to get in touch for a reading? The best way is DM me directly. Facebook and YouTube, I never check the inbox. I'll be honest. If you have messaged me on YouTube and I've not messaged you there, it's nothing personal. YouTube is kind of weird. I do check my Facebook often, as long as my phone lets me, and which is kind of a fickle moment, but I try and check in on my computer once or twice a day. And then my email goes right to my phone. That's the paranormalsarah@gmail.com. It's also attached to my paranormalsarah.com website, which you can go to and check out. And all of my costumes and clothing and merchandise will be updated as of October 1st. So all the stuff as I kind of go through my inventory will be done on social media. So you'll see some updates there. And then October 1st is the kind of big launch on that. So yeah, all of us will be opening the windows, cleaning and organizing today. That's what today is about. It's a new moon. It's crazy out there. There's a lot of air. Think of it as a sand devil. It is a sandstorm out there. It's going to be painful and stingy. So don't let emotions be involved in it. It is an eroding space. There is some risk, but don't be afraid. Don't be fearful. And if you chimed in today, if you heard this message, then it's exactly meant for you. So let me know how it affects you. Let me know how it ripples into your life. Let me know how you're doing. And then, of course, always sign up for notifications so that we can connect next time I jump on. I'm hoping to make this more of a routine thing as back to school is here. As you guys well know, that's so important. My kids being back in school means I have a lot more time to get stuff done, like laundry, like the renovation of a bathroom and a studio and all sorts of things. So yeah, rearrange that space, get with it, and most of all, protect your space. Know what consent is. And again, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Is it taken anytime, anytime? Do show you what you need to live. Give it up. Sorry, I'm going to go listen to some music. Have a good Labor Day, guys. Don't work too hard. Be well, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.